dinner table. It's Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's around 1968. The dinner table in our house was, I call it the seat of our soul. Everything seemed to transpire there, not only the delectable dishes from the Gulf of Mexico that my mother prepared, the shrimp, the crab, the blue crab, but history. History was a great big part of my life. My parents, the people in the center, and all the lines going to and fro them are because everything I am today can be, all the roads I've taken and everything I am leads back to those two people. So we're at the dinner table this particular day, or evening, and there's a knock at the door, and my parents give one another, they're across from each other, and they give one another the signal. I'm thinking like, something's going on. My father gets up and he answers the door. My mother goes into the kitchen and she bids me come with her. But when the door opens, I see Mr. Blank, because this might be on YouTube, right? Well, anyway, Mr. Blank and Mrs. Blank and their daughter, their 15 or 16-year-old daughter, Little Blank. And Mr. Blank is popping hot. He's piping hot, popping hot too. And Mrs. Blank is crying. And the young girl, the young woman, is just looking down. And my mother, Rosalind, she's in the kitchen. I'm like, oh no. This looks dangerous out here, and I want to stay out here. So she comes and she stands in the kitchen, and I know I have to leave. So I go. So she goes back into the room with these people, and I position myself in the crack of the door where all eavesdroppers know, you know that crack. And I'm like, and I hear the boyfriend, and I hear his name, boyfriend blank. I hear the New Moon Theater, the New Moon Drive-In Theater. I hear In the Family Way, and preacher and lawyer, and my father starts dialing. He calls his fraternity brother, who's an attorney, and before I know it, these people are on the road to Orange, Texas, getting their daughter married. That house that I grew in was like that. People stopped by all the time with all kinds of problems that my parents fixed, and I learned about through my eavesdropping. When I was older than that, probably 6 or so, when the eavesdropping skills, I guess, really turned on. I'd done something, some infraction, I don't remember, but I upset them, and I wrote them a thank you, an apology note. When people would visit, invariably, it just happened. I almost waited for it. They would hush, their tone would get hushed, and they'd go, "You should see what she wrote us." And they'd pull it out. I wouldn't be in the room, I would be at the, my assigned spot. And I'm not saying that I became a writer because I knew that something happened when people read what you wrote, but something must have triggered that, and I think that's my earliest memory of writing. My parents told me it was like stitched in my pockets. It was like sewn into my soul that you can be anything. Here we have, I didn't always agree with them in terms of what they were saying, where they were trying to lead me, but they said you can be anything, you can do anything. I grew up like I tell you, Louisiana, in the late 60s and 70s, when integration finally came to my city. My parents, who were public school teachers, sat me down at the table one day and said that, you're going into 6th grade, I think it was, and we don't know what these white people were going to do. So we're sending you to the Catholic school. Well, shoot me dead right then. It was an all-girls Catholic school, and I had my eye on Dookie at the junior high, and I'm going, where? But we're Methodists. We're dyed-in-the-wool Methodists, and we hate the Catholics, and so they failed, and I had to go. That was a seminal experience. I don't know if you probably can't read the grades on here, but this is a religion class. I'm Methodist, but I still have to take religion. Well, I aced the thing. They're all A's. Go over here to behavior, and I get 3 U's. Courtesy. Okay, because I asked you some questions, well, they weren't asked properly. And they said, deriding the Catholic Church and its beliefs. Okay, so we start here. That's the school. Next to it is a menu. I came home from school that probably blew eye makeup on, maybe, I think, ninth grade. The debate coach was leading a tour of students to Europe that summer for 8 weeks, and I asked my parents, could I go? My father, who told me I could do anything, go anywhere, be what I wanted to be, said, so you want me to send you away for 8 weeks with some white people I don't know? And I said, yes. He said, well, okay, write me an essay about what this trip will do for you. And I did, and I went. It was billed, and it was an educational tour. I got my first kiss, my first French kiss. It was an educational tour. Be anything you want to be. Freshman class president. Intern to the U.S. Senator from Louisiana. That led to actually coming to Seattle, to live in Seattle, long story. The picture with Julian Bond was, I think Miss Dawn Olson said that she was the youngest at her time being at the Democratic National Convention. This was 1972 when the 18-year-olds first got the right to vote. I was got the right to be delegates at the convention, so I was one. This man, and I will conclude with Claude Purdy, I met in San Francisco. Come to find out, he was, in my mind, the world's best editor and a talented, gifted, genius director. He took a liking to my writing. We became partners. That led to Jeff and Grace, who are from UPS, and my work is being done at UPS. I'm writing residence at UPS. And the last thing I'd like to do is thank Tacoma, thank Josh, thank Dayton, and I want my family in Tacoma, the people who allow me to be an artist, to just stand up while I walk away. Thank you. Please, you know who you are. Please.